Well, hopefully I'm back. I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know what happened when I get kicked out back to the lobby. I don't know what went on there. I wasn't even aware I'd stopped streaming. I'm going to tab out to YouTube. Well, I definitely am live streaming. I went to my browser and I checked that the stream was going, and it is going now. I don't know what the hell went on there. There was a sequence of events there. First of all, when I ended up getting kicked to the lobby, I don't know what happened, but it looks as if it's okay now. So if you can give me a confirmation in the chat if anybody's there, let me know please. We're in rack number 2. Larry is Larry's on the reds. Tommy's, well, he can roll up onto the 8 ball. He's obviously trying to get it into play. And where that cue ball's finished, actually, well, he's definitely left a red on, but pressure's on Larry if he can dish up. But we've seen how easily it is to get in trouble on a table that looked very easy to run out. Well, welcome to semi-pro. I was streaming and then everything went funny, but hopefully it is working. I think everybody else has left after the thing went down. Welcome to Albie. Well, Larry's had a go in that first rack and failed on a table that was very good. I mean, you would always expect to run out on it, but Larry got himself in the one trouble spot. There was only one trouble spot at the table, and that was the risk of getting hooked by, I think it was a yellow ball, and that's exactly what Larry did in the first rack. So now he's got a second go here. Well, there's not many people play the game, Albie, that's the problem. And it's a huge turnaround again, jumping from the standard VP4 table, which is 9 ball, and coming down to this thing. But, you know, it's early on, so he's got plenty of time to acclimatise. I mean, this is the thing I kept going on about in the last event we had with this is, you know, everything's delicate in this table. Everything's really delicate, especially when you're manoeuvring the cue ball. It's little dinky touches that you need with this cue ball, because it can easily get away from you. And it's a lot more dinkier than you think. That's the problem. It is a deft touch you need for this game. So we're all square, but the cue ball's gone from Larry. So free shot for Tommyy. Which, am I right in saying, again, I've forgotten, I think, is a free shot anywhere on the table, and as long as you're in the kitchen, you can play anything on the table, or you have to play out the kitchen, or is the first shot free, you can do anything. I think it must be free. I'll go with what Tommy's doing. Yeah, you can play anything with that free shot from the scratch. Now, before you two guys arrived, and probably I was talking to nobody and didn't realise it at the time, but I noticed on the bracket that Zangetsu, having coming through his first round match in a final rat decider against Linus, him and Fast Eddie must have arranged their match quite quickly, because I never saw it on the schedule at all. The only one that was in the schedule was the one that's coming up this weekend with LS3. And then when I got home today, I saw this one on tonight. But then when I looked at the bracket, I saw that Zangetsu and Fast Eddie have... I don't know what happened, but Zangetsu has forfeited in his match against Fast Eddie. So I would ask anybody, if they see Fast Eddie, ask him what happened, because it's puzzling why Zangetsu would, struggle to go over the line in his first round match, and then he doesn't play his second round match. Well, not a problem with the red. The problem is the angle and the cutting this red into the side, and there's traffic in the way here. And he's jacking up to try and avoid hitting this yellow. And of course he's just went straight through the gap into the jaws. Well, he's got no option but to have a go at the bank. No point in trying to play safe, I don't think. I think he's got to go for the bank. And then, well, he's unlucky. And then he had to hope that he left things awkward for Larry. But Larry again has a great opportunity here. Table wide open. Although the first one, that's the one he might want to be taking, because, well, in fact, I don't think he's on it. He's not on it, that one down the rail. So Larry just biding his time. Just leaving Tommyy in trouble. Now, welcome to Dwight. I remember that is Dwight, Dusty Puppy. Once again, Larry's at the table. A legal hit from Tommyy, but Larry still got no joy with that yellow in the side cushion there, just above the side pocket. He would really have liked that somehow to have a nudge off the rail, because although they're not difficult down the rail, but they're difficult if you don't get behind them. You can't be cutting this down the rail from any angle. You certainly don't want to be, and he certainly doesn't want that as his last shot. So again, he's just going to bank this and use the two yellows to cover that red. I would think that's what he's going to do. He's in a strong position, because the 8 ball's blocked by the yellow in the bottom right. So I don't know why Larry's not maybe doing that right now. Let's have a look. Yeah, why doesn't he just half ball that and bank it out and use the two yellows to block the red? See, now he's on it, but he's got to keep this flush. And he's done it. So that's the problem out of the way. Now, come on, tell us, who the hell is Zeno's Wurst? What the hell name's that? Or was that just a typo? Well, this is tricky. Oh, this might be ugly. Well, it is. It's one of them. He's got to play this pocket weight. The problem with that, though, is he's not going to have a decent shot in the 8 ball unless he does something with the cue ball. I'm Tommy's mate from another pool site. Well, you can name the pool site. The only other pool site's Shooter's Pool. Unless you're from Poolians. Well, that's some shot, Larry. Oh, fly or die. Good God. What is it, one of these top-down pool games that you play on that? Well, Larry's off into the lead. But it's hard work. It's definitely hard work. Yellow ball goes in for Tommyy. And, well, again, looking at the table, it's still an open table, but I think I'd be going for the yellows if I'm Tommyy, because there's one problem. That ball, that yellow's got half a pocket to go in if you get good on it. Yeah, I think so, Albie. And Semi-Pro's the man for all the rules. Ask him. Yeah, that yellow goes into that side pocket, but like I say, it's half a pocket. But if you play... Now, that other one there doesn't go in past that, so you have to clear this pocket first. Now, he's playing a sort of two-way shot here. If he can get good on that yellow into the side, he would play it. But he's not quite good on it. But that's the one that's going to determine whether he can get out here. He's having a go at it. And that was well done. Very well done. I don't know what happened, Chimpy. I haven't a bloody clue. And it happened. I mean, my hand was well away from the keyboard. I didn't touch anything. What happened when I ended up in the lobby is the thing that made it go pear-shaped. I don't know what happened there. Oh, well. He's still okay. That's a good question. I haven't a clue. No, it wasn't a restart. No. I didn't even know I wasn't streaming. Do you know that? It was One Pocket Slim that PM'd me and told me, and I'm tabbing out looking at YouTube to see what the hell was going on. I mean, it was just a sudden glitch, and then the next thing I know, I'm in the lobby. You know, and then for some reason the stream stopped because of it. I don't know what it was. It's just a mystery. Well, that was a very well taken rack from Tommyy. That was really well done, because it was not easy, but the yellows were good. It was just tricky to get that yellow into that half a pocket in the side rail there. And he's accomplished that, and we're back all square. So, you know, I think Tommy's settled in, and I think Larry will settle in as well. You know, you need 2 or 3 racks to get your feel in touch. Bear in mind that you know, I don't think Larry's been near this black ball table since the last black ball tournament. I don't think Larry spends any time practicing this. I don't think he's got the notion to do it. He's just going to play it by ear. No, it's a race to 13. Tells you in the top, more or less the top centre of the screen, just next to the balls and the HUD up at the top. Well, that's died a death. Big mistake from Larry. Just trying to hold for that red into the other side pocket there, but he hasn't got the other one in. And Tommyy has a free shot, which is going to probably push his yellow onto the yellow and red above there. Well, he's actually played 2 shots in 1, but he's not really improved his yellow a great deal because the red's still blocking the yellow into the top left. Welcome to Hazard. Well, again, it's going to be interesting to see how Tommy's going to deal with this yellow on the left-hand side. Everything else is good apart from that. And I think he should have done what I said and actually bumped his yellow onto the red and yellow. He played the ball into the side pocket and he then hit the other ball, but he's not improved the situation a great deal at all. So that's the thing that's going to stop him running this table. Well, I think he's playing for time now. The 8 balls, of course, blocked. It's going to be a tough ask for Larry to do anything here. So I think Larry he'll be ducking for cover at some point here fairly soon, because there's not an awful lot he can do to run this table. The 8 ball doesn't go anywhere up and down this left hand side. And the obvious thing is the bank on the 8 ball. But that's again tough. So it's now a bit of cat and mouse and a bit of chess, manoeuvring the awkward balls into a playable position but trying to keep the table safe. 8 goes up top where? Oh, you're talking about top right? It goes nowhere on the left hand side of the table. How the hell are you going to get that good on that 8 ball to play it anywhere else? Come on, Albie. Are you in this tournament, by the way? I didn't see your name. Well, Larry keeps potting balls here. Now, I know what semi-pro would be doing here. He'd be jacking this in and trying to come over and get a bump. Well, Larry's got an angle now to play a bump. Oh, you did get in. Well, he's now good to go. Well, it was again a good out from Larry. It was not an easy table. 8 ball has gone in. Now what happens with that again? Does it just get spotted or is it a re-rack? Well, it's a re-rack. That answers that query. I'm trying to remember the setup with this bloody game. Oh, here we go again. 2 in a row. Well, that's bullshit you're talking, Albinari. Yeah, told you it went. Yeah, it goes once you get the bloody ball out of the way. Yeah. Hindsight is a great thing, isn't it? Right, where are we now? Well, we've finally got a legal break. A couple of balls have gone down. Open table, and this table is beautiful. You know, Tommyy should be back all square here. He's got to bump the red, I think, off this yellow. Just bump the red and hope for the yellow into the same pocket. But this is what you've got to judge as well, how to play the little stun onto the red. You can get this wrong and end up missing it altogether and scratching. Is he trying to go to the rail? No, he is. He's played it dead weight. That's perfect. Nice little angle as well, just to come away from there. Well, now he just rolls through a tad. He'll have the angle top side of that yellow into the side. The black is a little tricky depending on how he's going to get on this last yellow. It's a little tricky because there's obstacles sort of guarding it slightly. So this is a crucial shot here, getting good in this yellow. Well, he can just come back off this. He can just draw back and then leave the cut in the 8 ball into the side. Oh, now he's doing acrobatics, and that's asking for trouble. I don't think he needed to do that, but he's actually sitting pretty good, but he can consider himself lucky there he didn't scratch. But it was such a good table, he had to run out. So 3 apiece now. And this isn't such a good table. But Larry's got the choice. Now that red that's next to the yellow that Larry was looking at a second ago, I think it goes into the side. Let's have a look. Yes, it does. But Larry's, well, I think Larry needs to review his choice here. I don't like the fact that he's plumped for the yellows because well, that yellow does go into the side as well. And he's not sitting particularly great here. Now he might come back and play that yellow into the side now. He won't get a better chance to get on it. And I think that if he was straight on it, he could just bump the red. If he had the right angle, he could bump the red and hold for that yellow. And I don't... I think he's alright. I think he's good. I think he's good here. Just rest the red like that. Oh, Jesus Christ, he's missed the yellow. Oh, well. Unexpected miss there into the side. He had the right idea because he was sitting good. You know, he's on the yellow, no problem. He could have just, you know, jabbed that in and come up the table for that 8 ball in the corner. Now Tommyy is just surveying the situation. He's actually not got an awful lot of options here. Yeah, he might just dink onto this red. And he's certainly not left Larry anything. That's a good shot. There's nothing doing there for Larry. Now, in what way are they not realistic, Sammy? Is the shelves too deep? Oh, started yawning already. Here we go. Oh, well, that's almost an excellent shot. It was sort of all or nothing, that shot, but it's still not. It's not over this rack yet, but I think Larry's going to find himself in lots of trouble soon enough. Because Tommy's obviously going to use those 3 reds up there. If he can't get anywhere bumping them out, he's going to have Larry buried. So Tommy's in a very strong position at the moment. And it depends on how aggressive he wants to try and be off this red. I mean, he could go forward. He could try spinning, but he's just biding his time. He'll play a sort of 2-in-1 bank shot here maybe. And just leave the cue ball there. Well, he's brought one of them into play, but as predicted, he was going to have Larry in trouble. Well, now Tommy's in position with a free shot to get himself into the lead here. Now, am I right in saying that with that free shot there, does he have to play from there, or did he have an option to take the cue ball in the kitchen? I can't remember. Is the only time it goes in the kitchen when there's a scratch? Like when you've got 2 shots, you have to play from where it is. You can't. I don't think you can grab the cue ball and play it from the kitchen, can't you? No, I think that's wrong. Oh, so you do have a choice. You could pick it up and play it from the kitchen, right? Well, Tommyy was always in command in that rack. So now it's Tommy's break. Alternate break, of course. Well, this time his break is dry. The obvious balls you'd be going for would be the yellows, simply because there's 2 yellows guarding the 8 ball, and you can easily pot the 1 yellow past the 8 and then play the other yellow over to the other corner pocket. But it's the preceding yellows that are the issue. But the other two yellows that are just above and to the right of the 8 ball, the other two yellows are sort of isolated on their own, and they're not easy to get to. You could again get to one of them by playing the yellow next to the 8 ball. You could play one in the side. Now, the one good thing is if you potted that yellow and got an angle on the other yellow, you can pot the one at the side and nudge that one out the way, nudge it into a better spot. So I'm sure he's fully aware of that, but what he's done now is he's actually almost locked himself up here. He's whatever he does, he's got a tough shot. But he's decided to plump for the reds. Well, he's playing the cut. Well, obviously Larry can pot a ball, but this is his major problem here. And these two here are still a problem. Tommyy to win 13-11. And that's not really helping his cause. I don't know that yellow squeezes past the 8 ball. Well, it can certainly end up over the pocket. I don't know whether it will still go in from that angle. It's very tight. But that's the least of his problems. The way these reds are sitting, Tommy's still the favourite here. Although that is a better move. Little nudge brings the yellow into play, and Larry's now got the dilemma of this yellow in the middle of this bottom rail. Now, he's having a look. I'm pretty certain he's had a look at this yellow, but in my eyes there's no way that's going past that 8 ball without catching the jaw and hanging up. Well, now might be the time to just brush that yellow and try and squeeze it as much as you can in past that red. I mean, again, it's very tight and he may well get caught up. He could go rail and bump the red and try and go in that way, but again, he's not got a lot of room. Well, he has got it. So now the pressure shot here, the cut in the side, and staying and keeping the cue ball in a position where he can see that last yellow. And these two reds that are just to the left of the yellow as we look are the problem, because the cue ball is going to be tracking maybe a couple of rails here and coming around back to this side, and it could end up hooked. Well, he's digging down to make sure he avoided any of that business. He knows fair well that that's what probably would be likely to happen. So, you know, having seen the problem, he's taken the initiative. Now, there's a big area to get the cue ball in here to get on this. Either way, whether he just drops over to the side here and leaves the cut, which he's going to do, and he's fine. So that was well worked by Larry. And he's going to be back all square. And he's breaking also. And it looks dry. Well, major problem up the top if you're going for yellows. But Tommyy could have a bash here, cut that yellow into the side and hope for a bump on the red and yellow up top. He would still have a bailout yellow on the right side. The one next to his cue ball would be at least a bailout shot. But it might be well worth having a smack if he's going to decide on the yellows. The yellows down this end of the table are good. They've all got pockets, so there's one problem in dealing with that yellow up there, but he's deciding he's going for red, so he's still got the same problem. He's got to find a way of improving that situation up top. I would have, if that was me, I'd have went for the yellow into the side and had a bump. I've got to think my odds were pretty good to certainly maybe improve that yellow as it was, and also still have a bailout yellow down the table here. We'll see if that choice that Tommyy has made is going to backfire on him. Well, he's got the bump on the yellow. He's left himself a wee bit awkward. Let's have a look. Yeah, this is awkward. I mean, it's not a gimme. You've got to watch how much of that you're taking to get the cut. You don't get enough of it, you're going to the jaw on the far side. I think probably the worst thing that's going to happen here is going to hang the ball up in the pocket, and you'll have another go probably. Well, he's went in off the jaw. He's a bit in no man's land here. And that red that he's right next to does go in the gap. It's tight, but it goes. So Tommyy leaves the table, but he's in command here at the moment. But Larry's got enough balls here to get down and dirty if he has to. He won't be doing a great deal from where he's sitting though. Now, Semi, what happens if you play your yellow ball next to that 8 ball and bump it off the rail and then cut that red in with a shot? Is that legal? Or is that an illegal shot? The fact that you've hit your own ball first and knocked your opponent's ball in. Because if that is a legal shot, then Larry's missed a trick there. I just can't remember. I'm trying to refresh myself on the rules of this game. See, what I was thinking is if that was a legal shot that you can hit your own ball, he could have bumped that yellow to the rail, cut it onto the red. It's not. You have to pot. Right, so you can't play the shot I was talking about, bumping the yellow and bumping the red bumping the yellow onto the red and knocking the red in. I was thinking all that happens, I'm maybe mixing it up with one of the 8-ball games, where all that happens is the turn just changes. You know, it's a legal shot, but not in this game then, alright. Oh, there's a disaster. Larry was fully committed there. And Tommyy can immediately deal with the problem if there is one. Well, the problem is that the red doesn't go. So he's got that free shot to free it up. The other problem, though, of course, is the 8-ball. So this rack is a bit in the balance here because it all hinges on whether Tommyy can do anything with the 8-ball. He's going to be thin enough on this to maybe catch the 8-ball. I think. He might end up getting a double kiss here. He's got to watch that. He could skim off the far side of it. Well, he just played for time. I couldn't be bothered to read rules to try and find that rule I was just talking about, because that rule would be for me hard to find. But I'm like most players in this tournament. I'm learning as I go along. Well, what I do know is, at some point Larry's got to decide whether he's going to be committed to doing anything, and I don't think he can, because he can't open up the table for Tommyy to run out. I'm too busy watching squirrels on YouTube to be bothered about blackball rules semi-pro. I'm watching squirrels and puppies. Where's the cue ball going? And greyhounds. That's what I've been watching recently. Crazy greyhounds. Well, you'd think sooner or later Larry's going to have to stop potting balls, isn't he? Now, he tried to catch that red there. That's exactly what he tried. Tried to get rid of it and go for the out. That he's missed contact. And what he might end up doing here is finding himself in trouble, Larry, because he's going to give up the table. And probably just nudges yellow unless he goes full commitment to try and bank it somewhere. Or, you know, cut it back across into this corner pocket. But as soon as he does that, that's him, he's losing the rack. Unless he blocks the pocket. And he hasn't, and everything's open, and that was inevitable. That was inevitable. That's like you know, slim odds that you're going to get out doing that. And not only that, he set the 8-ball up over the side pocket. So I don't think it was a good idea to keep going and trying to just pop balls and get out. The ball wasn't sitting especially great where it was. In the end, it's just a gift for Tommyy. And now Tommyy with a 5-4 lead and the break. Ball goes in. Well, I don't think he's got... Unless that red just finishes up where it is, he's at least got a start. And there's one slightly awkward red. And that red he can actually play on right now. He can pot the red along the rail, play the one into the side, which is the problem. And he's good to go. And he should have a 2-rack lead here for the first time in a match. There's no way he can't get out here. But it will also hinge on whether he's going to play this red that is down on the left-hand side as his third last ball to leave the other red that's to the left of the black ball into the side. Well, that's exactly what he's doing, but it does hinge on how good he leaves this angle on the last red that's going to decide whether he's going to get out. He wants to just kill this stone dead, I think. If he's going to nurse it and he's going to roll out, well, he's fairly straight, so he should be good to go. Yeah, this should be fine. Well, he had one slight problem to deal with early on there, and he dealt with it immediately, and it's an easy rack for Tommyy. So now, Larry under a bit of pressure on his break. 2 racks down. And of course he's got the worst outcome. He's got a table that looks pretty good for the Reds. Again, the Reds have to be the favourite here because the way the pattern looks up top, it's easy to get to the one sort of problem red that's next to the yellow there. I mean, the way to get to it is, you play that, you hold for this red here, you run through. The only other slight problem is the gap that you've got to get on that red there, but I mean, these are all gettable. In fact, now he's on it into the side. So this is going to be a 3-rack gap. Again, I can't see where Tommy's going to go wrong here. So the worst case scenario for Larry here with a dry break and a good table. And oh dear, well, Tommyy just digging in there to come back into that gap for the red up top. So Larry has been handed a lifeline, but Larry's immediately got a problem. That red has come into play up top left side and it's blocking the path. The other one's blocking the other pocket. So Larry's now, although he's at the table, he's not favourite at the moment. Simply because that yellow's stuck where it is. Well, now he's created a mess. He's now making sure that Tommy's not going to be running out. So this rack's going to take a bit longer than what we initially thought it was going to do. Well, that was asking an awful lot. He had to get a clean hit and miss the first collision, and he ran straight into it, and that spoiled any chance of trying to improve those two reds up the top right. So with this table as it is, it favours Larry at the moment. That last shot that Larry played just messed up the table for Tommyy, and it's left him with a lot of work to do to try and get out here. You know, I will say this though, you know, the table does favour Larry, and he's going to have to do something almightily daft, or Tommy's going to have to get really lucky for Larry not to come out on top in this rack. And again, Tommy's having another go to at least improve things. Well, he's got a shot in one of them, and you know, I don't know whether he can go full blast at this to try and chip that last red out. I mean, this is really difficult. You can't hit these balls at a great deal of pace, especially on an angle like this, and expect them to go in. You know, that's just asking too much. But what he's done is he's potted one of Larry's balls, and now he's asked the question of Larry. Although he's given up the two shots, Larry's now under a bit of pressure to deliver, and he's got a problem. And the problem is the nearest yellow to that 8 ball is there. And he's going to have to be good to be able to get through onto this 8 ball. So he's got to be clear in his head what he's going to do here. So he's dealing with the one problem yellow, and I don't know that he's actually improved it a great deal. Larry's, well, he's certainly going to have to now take it next that he can get on it. Welcome to Vertical Liquid. But bear in mind what I said, getting onto the 8 ball won't be simple unless you're good on your last ball. It looks all too easy, this table. And you know what Steve would be saying, that yellow that's in the middle of the table is no good to him unless he was sitting right there on it as his last ball to get to the 8 ball. He'd be far better cutting, you know, one of the balls in and coming up table off it. But this is it. He's got to get good on this yellow. And if he's got too much of an angle, he's in trouble. He might be trying to hold it straightish to roll through. And not only that, because he's putting a bit of weight in. See, again, he's left an angle. He could have probably dragged that in and held it for the 8 ball anyway, but they had to play that with a bit of pace into the corner, and that's why he's missed. So on a table that looked pretty good, everything in Larry's favour there, he still found a way to make the mistake. And Tommy's got a similar problem here. I mean, he's got that red that he can cut over the pocket. He's got this one straight in. But if he's going to leave the one up in the top right as his third last ball to get up to this red behind the 8 ball, he's going to have a tough one as well. So this is in the balance now, this rack. And he hasn't got cover, I don't think. That wasn't a great shot from Tommyy. So Larry's now got a second go here, but he's got the same problem. How does he get on this yellow? Or how good is he going to get on it? Let's have a look. How does that look for the roll through? That looks about as good as he's going to get. I don't think he should try anything heroic here. He's going to leave a cut one way or another. Yeah, I mean that's as good as he could expect. But one thing's for certain, in or over the bag will do. And he'll breathe a sigh of relief to get out there, because it could have gone really ugly there. But he's still trailing by one, and the break is with Tommyy. So we're not halfway home yet. Oh, cue ball. He's got a ball though. Now, once again, if Tommy's going to be committed, he's got problems ahead. And the problem's down in the bottom right hand corner here. Well, he's on the reds. Problem being that now that he's committed to the reds, okay, he's in command of the corner pocket in the bottom right, but he's got one red that is near the rail, blocked by those two yellows, and that's the one that's going to scupper his chances of progressing here. Well, Larry, I think, is going to go through this same routine again. He's going to start potting balls until eventually he's in no position to do anything. Well, this is not going to work. I mean, he's got the angle in the yellow, but there's traffic in the way if he's trying to bump something. I don't think he's doing that though. Yeah, that was trying to go a different route, but it's not in Larry's favour now, this table. Well, initially when he started there, I don't think he was in great shape to play a particularly good safety, but when he starts potting balls, he's overcommitting himself to end up in a situation like this where there's not an awful lot of options on for him. Tommy's in command at the bottom of the table here, but as long as Larry keeps his yellow there, the one above, Tommy's still got a problem trying to do the similar and trying to get out. And this could be quite an important rack. I mean, Tommyy obviously looking to get back into a 2-rack lead, but Larry's he's trying to get himself right back into the match here, so it might be a pivotal rack here. Well, I don't know that was the wisest move by Larry. he's played the one ball that was at least given him a second chance to leave Tommyy still with a problem to deal with, but now he's taken that away and Tommy's just going to bide his time. He's just, again, this red's going to go in or over the pocket. Well, Larry's at the table thinking, well, what the hell am I going to do here? He's talk about back against the wall. I can't see any shot that's a good shot here as long as that yellow stays where it is. I mean, there's probably another way to look at it is that yellow that's down in the bottom right hand corner, why doesn't he just play it and bring it into the table somehow or other and leave the table for Tommyy to go for the run out and see what he's like under a wee bit of pressure of having to run out? Because if Tommyy makes a mistake, you know, Larry's got the table. Tommy's probably going to leave that red up over the top right as his safety net. I don't know that, again, Larry's going to pot the yellow. He's running the cue ball. He's got no other choice available. He might as well have just said, right, Tommyy, there you go. I'm giving you the table now to do something. And what he could have done is still got his yellow out and then he play. It's a bit like conceding the rack and saying, well, I'll give you the rack, but in order for you to get it, you're going to have to run out. And things can always go funny. You know, Larry's got to think his odds are fairly slim in getting anything good out of this. So if that was me, I would have just played the yellow and said, right, there you go, let's see you run out. You know, he's thinking he's bound to lose the rack anyway, so let's just see if Tommyy can do it. So now he's in a position he could have been in 2 minutes ago. And he's now given Tommyy 2 shots. And the one thing that is certain is he's under a bit of pressure to deliver. So he's going to deal with the problem. And now it's up to him to get the job done, but I think leaving that last red where it is, he's going to have to use the rail and the ball to get that cue ball out there onto that 8 ball. He can't just go straight in on that last red up top. And it might be the sensible thing to do what he's doing and actually potting it now. I think that's a wise move, because he's got the bailout red down here in the bottom left. So this is the right shot, I think, definitely. So now he's good to go. As long as he has a decent angle on this last red, he'll be able to dink back for the cut on the 8 ball. Well, Larry was always in a loser there. Just watch the cue ball. So back to the 2-rack lead. And Larry's break. Again, he's desperate to get a ball in here. Well, at least he's got a ball. And he has got a very good table. he's got a very good table regardless of what he commits himself to here. So this is a must rack for Larry. He's got to run out. He's got to get the job done. It's an excellent table. There's not a problem ball on the table. Whatever set of balls there's a little cut down the rail in that red ball up there, but on the left hand side. But other than that, even take the reds, he's still got a chance to get himself good in that, but he still may well commit to the yellows. I think that's by far the more comfortable set of balls to be going for, only because of that red in the side rail. Well, he's now looking at this red down here for a thin cut. I think where he's sitting right now is as good as anything to be starting off. He's umming and ahhing and umming and ahhing. He's not settled on anything yet. Well, he's gone for the reds. So now it's the same thing. Now that he's committed to the reds, he's now got to get good on that red in the rail. And he's in no position to do that from here. He may well just be trying to get out. No, he isn't. Again, he's leaving it. He could have played a two-way shot there. He could have got out, where he's just playing a little roll down in this red into the corner. And he would have had a red into the side. I'm surprised he didn't just pot that and get out and play a two-way shot, and then have an option of maybe just rolling this in. Or you could do that. I mean, that's a good outcome. So now it's all out to get the job done. Let's have a look at this from this side. So if he pots this one and dinks out, he's got to come out far enough though. He's going the other way. If he came out far enough for that one into the side, he could then, no, well, that's tight, that red up past 8 ball. I never looked at that. That's not great. It's really tight, that red. I think it'll get off the jaw though. He's finished good on it. Another look. Oh no, it's I do still think it goes, but I don't think he's that comfortable looking at it. It's tight. And also where he's sitting, he's not exactly perfect in any of the other two reds either. Well, it's a pressure rack. Could be a big 2-rack swing here. And he's well, now he's in no man's land. He's got a thin cut. If he cuts that in, where's he going to be on this red? The last one. He's got no idea. Now again, with hindsight, would it not have been maybe better having a go at that red past the 8 ball when he was in such a good position to play it 2 minutes ago? Would he not have been better doing that? It was really tight, but he could have sent it to the jaw. Well, it's another rack that's gotten away from Larry. Tommyy with no problems on the table. The yellow into the side that he has, he can actually, I think he could pinch a wee bit and stun down if he wants to try and get on that yellow into the side, but He's probably just going to end up rolling that down into one of the corner pockets. Now, again, looking ahead here, my main concern is what's the last ball to get to the 8 ball. I wouldn't want it to be the one that's on the top rail, because the top right rail, the long rail on the right, simply because, first of all, you have to be in such a position to be able to just dink it in and still stay inside that red to get to the 8 ball, like where he is right now. And where he is right now, watch the cue ball. Well, he's missed a yellow, almost scratched, and Larry's got a lifeline. He has a lifeline. Oh, this is tight. It's just off the rail. Well, I can't believe he's playing this one. He's got to avoid the 8 ball for a start. I mean, why not just ride your luck? Well, he's avoided it. Now, how's his luck? Well, he's got a nudge. And now he's good. Oh, he took a big risk there, but he's got away with it. Well, Tommy's let him off the hook there with that mistake. But Tommyy can immediately redeem himself. It's back to his break. 7-6 lead. Couple of reds have gone in. And oh, the 8 ball's gone in as well. Oh dear, that's another one. I think that's about the third we've had in the match. And that table was actually pretty good as well. This one isn't though. Tommy's ended up dry. Problem top right hand side to the right of the 8 ball. There's nothing happening there. Well, if Larry commits to the reds, at some point he can duck. Does that red go past the 8 ball? Yes, it does. And Larry's going to be fully committed here. He's going for the hit to get that red into play. Now he doesn't need to thump this because he's going to have another red into the corner here. Well, that's not gone well. If he'd played that a bit softer, he would have at least had a shot. I don't think he's got a shot. Nope. And how easy it is to get yourself in a hole. Well, I think he's got to play for time. He's just got to roll onto the red and play for time and mix it up with these yellows here. Just to give him time, because he can't really commit anywhere else. Well, he's played the red in the middle. Now he has to hope he gets a good roll of the ball here, Larry. He's obviously going to be colliding with stuff. He's actually just squeezed out the gap. And now he's got to run for cover. I mean, he's going to leave Tommyy a shot, I think, regardless of what he does. But at least Tommy's got an awkward position up the top right. I mean, there is a combo set there. But he's going all out for this cut into the corner, I think. or nothing shot. Well, I'm right in saying that had that red rattled in the jaws there and went across into the other corner pocket, it was still a legal shot, isn't it? I'm right in saying that. I mean, because you don't have to call the pockets in this game. So Tommyy now looking for a position where he can play that combo. And this should be it. He's just got to roll forward. Oh dear. Well, Tommy's found a way to get himself in bother. What's so frustrating? I should do a quick crash course in the road. There's not much to the rules to remember. It's just remembered from last year. It's not that complicated a game. It's just the odd bit and bob. Once I remember that in this match, I'll remember it for the other matches. What's hard about it? Well, I think that red goes past the yellow, doesn't it? Oh, aye, loads of room. But he's got to hit this with enough to get the cue ball out on the table. He should be fine. And you've got to think that if Larry gets himself across the table, he's more than likely going to block that yellow anyway. There's a fair chance he will. Oh, he's trying to spin up. Why didn't he just cut it in and let it run out? But anyways, he's got the second prize, and it's not the 8 ball that's blocking it, it's the red that's blocking it, so he's fine. He's going to have another go. If Tommyy can't kick this in, that is. Now, how's Tommy's eyes at picking the line off this rail? And the answer to that is not very good. Now, I say it looks good for Larry. Now, again, with this free shot, would he not be better to take it into the kitchen? Yes, he is. I think he saw sense because he can now open up that pocket if he wants. I mean, why doesn't he just pot the yellow? Or is he going to play a 2-in-1 shot? He's just going to cut this across again, in or over the pocket. And now he's not sure what he's doing. I mean, if he just drops it in dead weight, he rolls the red in, and then he just uses a little cut angle on the red to get the cue ball out into the table for the black ball. Where's the problem? All of it just judging the weight. And that'll be good enough. Well, it's been a hard slog for Larry, but he's got back all square. And the good news also for him is he's breaking. Well, this match has been on for just over an hour and a half. for 14 racks. Larry, I think, is dry. Well, this is an interesting setup here at the bottom. You've got 3 reds all sort of lined up, with a yellow very adjacent to the reds. Well, I say 2 of them, that bottom one's tight as to whether it goes. And yes, it does go. Well, Tommy's decided it's the yellows, so he's going to be looking to do some damage in the not too distant future. Well, I think Tommy's decided to reel it in straight away and just play, get the sort of safety blanket in place. So that's going to prolong this rack. Now Larry got the hit there. Oh, just almost throwing my mouse on the floor. Hang on a sec. But what he has done is he's now blocked off what path there was for that red. Well, I think, is it not worthwhile just having a thin cut in that red and just trying to nudge it over the pocket? Not that, obviously this one I'm talking about, not that. Why not just play the thin cut, let the cue ball run out? You're going to concede the table to Tommy, but at least get one of your reds in a better position, sort of in or over the pocket there. I mean, there's still time because of the way the table's set, and certainly getting to these 2 yellows here. Well, the bottom one certainly goes if you just drop through. And I don't think you can get to that yellow to pot it. I'm not convinced that you can. Now, what the hell's he done there? He's not hit a rail. Larry's got 2 shots. And of course, not hitting the rail though, he's tied up the red and yellow. And you've got 2 balls tied up at opposite ends of the table. Well, Larry's now getting himself to a similar position he has done earlier in the match, where he's potting balls, and then he's going to get to the stage where he's then going to commit on that red next to the yellow and give up the table to Tommy again. Right, so now that was probably a decent enough idea, but that was going to happen from it. And now Larry must get a hit. Doesn't matter what kind of hit it is, but he doesn't want to hit it too hard. And now it's backfired. Now Tommyy, with a free shot, can initially deal with the problem up top. So why doesn't he just play the red onto the yellow and cut it on it? Why doesn't he do that? Because, well, it's not set up as a combo, that's why. Yeah, that's well done. Little nudge in the red, clears it out the way. And now the rack is his for the taking to get back into the lead. Was that not... What the hell's happened there? Was that not against Spudboy, wasn't it? That was a good win. What was it, 13-6 or something? Yes, it was. That was a good result. Well, what the hell happened there? Obviously Tommyy missed. Well, Larry's in the lead as far as I can recollect for the first time in the match. He might have had a rack at the beginning, I'm not sure, but it won't matter. Where it does matter is he's in the lead in the second half of the match for the first time. And the break from Tommyy was dry, and Larry's got absolutely nothing. Or does he? I think he was on a look to see if that red went down past the yellow in the gap there. Oh, I think it looks as if it's catching it. It could go straight in, or it's going to catch the yellow. It's hard to judge. I mean, I think it's catching the yellow, looking at it like that. Well, it's everything about the game's totally different from what you're used to playing. You know, the cue ball's different, the pockets are different, the balls are smaller. Everything is different, and the biggest problem is judging the pace of the cue ball with every shot, especially when you don't play the game at all any other time during the year. You know, you can't expect to adapt to this very quickly. But it's the same for everybody. Nobody's regularly playing black ball any other time during the year until this event comes around. And don't forget that from tomorrow for a couple of days, the 24th to 26th, you can get 25% off anything on my online store. So you won't get it any cheaper during the year than that. And just remember as well that the store that you see on YouTube, if you click any of the items that you see there, that'll take you to the store page, but there's an awful lot more on the store other than what you just see on the YouTube page. You can browse through the actual store. You know, there's stuff for the little babies. You can get a little bib, even if you just want to get a coaster for your coffee cup. You can get one of them. If you've got a pet dog, you can get it a bandana. If you want a beer mug, you can get a beer mug. Baseball cap, you can get one of them. Different varieties of them. Well, is this match turning in Larry's favour? Well, Tommyy has a shot and a pot, but even if he starts running these balls, he's got that yellow there to get on. What's going to be the last ball to get to that 8 ball? Because that 8 ball will go, but it's tight from this side. It'd be asking a lot to get down in the short side of this 8 ball. So once again, it's a table that looks good initially until you manoeuvre in the wrong place, and then you're struggling to get there. With that yellow, where he is now, has to go now, simply because it ain't going anywhere else. It's not going into any of the 2 corner pockets up there. And he's the wrong side of it as well, so all he could do was just leave the straight in yellow. So, critical shot coming up right now. Well, this could end up in a stalemate if he ends up hanging the 8 ball. Well, it is tight. It will go, but not exactly from there. Yeah, well, I agree with you. I agree with you, Semi-Pro, but not from where he was. You know, he had to be right behind it, didn't he? Well, not yet it isn't. Who knows what's going to happen with that last red up there. Larry's going to leave it all day long. Does Tommyy think he can squeeze through there? I don't think so. Well, if Tommy's going for the hit, he's more than likely going to bring that red into play or make it at least a lot better for Larry. Well, now what is it? What is it, Semi-Pro? What do you call that if it ain't going to be a stalemate? I mean, Larry can't hit that probably without knocking the 8 ball in. Tell me how you get out of this, Semi-Pro. Come on. Well, Larry's got a free shot. He's got to catch that red to try and obviously get it and play without fouling the 8 ball. He's got to just try and bank it and get it away from there. And avoid any double kiss. So he's got to spin away to the left here. Well, there you go. The inevitable happened. Now, Larry committed himself to playing the shot. It was really tight to get away from there, and he's knocked the 8 ball in and conceded a rack because of it. So we're back all square. Well, I'm sure Larry would have maybe contemplated that, but he went to hit it sort of half ball to try and bank it away. But it was so tight, it was always going to be very close to catching the 8 ball, and that's what happened at the end of it. Now, if a referee would have probably said to the player, you can still play that ball. Yeah, the far left side of the table to try and just catch the rail in the back end of the yellow. Is that what you mean? That what you mean there, Semi? I see where you're coming from. But even then, would it not still have been too tight? And if he didn't get it right, he'd have still maybe nudged that 8 ball, and the odds weren't good. Well, both players now need 5 racks to get to the finishing line. We're an hour and 15 minutes into this match. I mean, there will be quicker matches than this in the tournament. There's been quite a few racks where you've had balls messed up. But you will see people running racks in this without any problem. So once again, Tommyy just manoeuvring his balls into position. Larry can play a decent safety here, but the first thing he has to make sure is that Tommyy can't see that red, and he's got a very, very strong odds of doing that. He can just, I don't think he wants to, if this red that's into the side pocket, the one that's near the side pocket, I think, let me have a look. Well, he's blocked it up and down. Oh, he's playing loads of right. He's trying a banana shot, hitting the rail and the right English digging in to try and get a hit. But that was near impossible to judge that. So Larry had him up the proverbial creek without a paddle there. So Larry now has that free shot. to regain the lead here. So the first thing he's going to have to decide is whether he's playing from where he is or whether he's going from the kitchen. And well, he's definitely got to get rid of the yellow, but he's also got to get rid of the second yellow if he can. At least get his other red into a better position, and that's as good as a position he could expect. So he's now fully committed. Everything's there. It's just about getting it done. He's really got to get to the bottom side of this red into the side as we look, and that's where he's going to end up, because he's taking the other one into the side, so he's going to be shooting that one into the side, and he'll be good to go. What you private messaging me for, Semi-Pro? Because I can't cover the screen with this software. I don't want to look at private messages while I'm on the stream. I don't have the facility to put up a screensaver with mirrorless action. I don't know why you can't say it in the chat. Because if it's something you don't want to say in the chat, then I don't want to be reading it on the live stream. Well, Larry is back in front. Tommy's break's giving him a couple of balls. Oh, finally, chat wasn't working. But the chat wasn't working in the stream. Well, this is an almighty mess on the left-hand side of the table. This is going to be another longish rack. Well, apart from the final, this could end up in the longest match in the tournament. We're knocking on the door of 2 hours. Where the black was, I would have put another ball around the black ball that was over the pocket to force a re-rack. Well, that's easier said than done. Don't forget that. I mean, the shot you're talking about, you'd have to do that earlier in the rack. Where Larry ended up, there was only like 3 balls left on the table, wasn't there? And if you start nudging a ball down towards where those 2 balls were sitting, where the 8 ball was and the other ball was, you could easily have fouled anyway and lost the rack. Ah, you're right, he did. But, you know, I don't think... I mean, you're talking from somebody who played a lot of black ball. I'm talking about Larry, who doesn't play black ball at all. That's two different things. I mean, Larry's got a 9-ball mind. Larry's 9-ball mind tells him he has to run the table. So that would never have crossed his mind, I don't think. I can see where you're coming from. Well, Tommy's the one that's going to be trying to do damage here, I would imagine. He's got two problem balls, the yellow and of course the 8-ball. I don't know that this is... well, he just went for the kick to at least get the 8-ball in play. Now, he's now in a good position to get this done here. Roll that up the table. He'll come out into the table. And then he's more than likely going to take the yellow that's up top as I'm looking here and leave that little cut in a long 8-ball. The reason I say that is simply because if you leave this yellow down here, all you're doing is you're just dropping it in and leaving the open 8-ball into the top corner. You've no obstruction. You've got nothing that's likely to get in your way. So he used his free shot to the full advantage. Having said that, you can never know what the outcome is when you're kicking at a bunch of balls just to try and improve the situation, but it worked out for him. And we're back all square. You're talking about how to create a stalemate, semi-pro, by sticking another ball in there and completely blocking the 8-ball. Good evening to Cobra. Well, that was if I'm right in thinking, what match did we have the last time around where we had that sort of controversy? Where at the time nobody really knew what the situation was. In fact, was Cobra not involved in it? Cobra will remember. I think Cobra just played on or something, I can't remember. Yeah, that's right. That is correct. See, I do remember some things. No, it was Potman and somebody else. So I think Cobra's. I'm pretty certain it was Cobra and Tommy. And Cobra's probably right, seeing as he was one of the players involved. Aye, and I think, was the Potman situation not after the Tommyy and Cobra one? It might have been. And did we not then have a re-rack in that match because of all the hoo-ha that happened in the Tommyy Cobra match? Was that? I can't remember. Anyway, Larry's got a problem. I don't think there's been a rack where we've said, you know, there isn't a problem. There's been a problem with every single rack, I think. Although there might have been one where the balls were all sitting nice, but that was either one where Tommyy didn't get out or Larry didn't get out. But that yellow over the side pocket or near the side pocket, cut off by the red that's right next to it. And again, Larry's his old habits back again, where he's potting balls, and he's still got that problem where unless he gets good on that yellow that's near that side pocket to do a hit on that other yellow, he's potting balls for no reason at all. It's not going to get him anywhere. That's no good. Is he trying to chip it off the yellow and use the yellow to get the other yellow in the pocket and then bring the other one into play? I mean, that would be a possible shot. I don't know whether he'll improve it a great deal, but there is an option to try and play it to the yellow and get it in and bring the other one out. But he's not looking at it. Well, what do you think of that, semi-pro? That's the kind of shot you would play. Well, he's actually in a better position to play it now. Unless he's trying to go through onto the red, he could end up getting a double kiss. Well, it's worked out in one sense of the word. But how can he get to that yellow up top? I mean, you could dink that very gingerly into the side and try and get out of there, but you're on the wrong side of the red. The yellow's coming here, so this is good. This is not good. He's trying to come around the back of it. Well, the nudges work, but he's going to be hooked. You know, you're just relying on a good roll of the ball. Aye. Well, he got the hit. He hasn't left a free shot, but Tommy's got a free table that he's got to run out. And he's got to try and, I think, got on this red that's down the bottom here first of all, because he had a surefire route to get here. Now, I don't know whether he wants to maybe try and check this up a wee bit, or whether he's going to run it. See, if he starts running up the table, that 8 ball can come into play here. He's going to let this run. Well, the 8 ball is coming into play, but he's hit it the right side. So everything's good. So Tommyy gets the double figures first. And he's going to have the break. Yeah, but in that match, there wasn't. I don't think there was much conversation as regards to what Tommyy thought his options were at that time, because I think neither was very sure of what option was available. I think that was maybe what we were discussing in the commentary at the time. I can't remember. And you don't, you know, as we're watching, you know, we don't want to interfere with the match and tell a player what his options are. As semi-pro says, it's about remembering the rules. Well, he's lucky. He knows the rules. We're all of a similar disposition where we're aware of some of the rules, but not exactly everything. Now, the only thing to look at is whether this red can be got at. Can you get to that red and pot it? I'm not convinced. I don't think you can. But get from that angle. From that angle, that's got to be going to the back rail. Well, he certainly got it as a blocker for those two yellows. And he's got control of the table at the bottom end here as well as we look. I think I left it up to Steve, because I think I was saying something. I can't remember rightly, but I think I was mumbling something at the time, and I think I do remember saying, "Well, I don't want anything to do with it." But then, that was make everybody aware of what was available at the time, what choice was available at the time. Anyway, Tommyy back at the table. Well, Larry's got all his balls into a position now where he can run out. Tommy's now just got to play one decent shot in this last red. But when you look around, he's got pockets available. He's got some that aren't though. The left side, this bottom corner as we look, isn't available. So the cue ball's got to manoeuvre somewhere. Well, he's got a pot. It could make a big difference at the end of the match here. A 2-rack lead's got Larry in lots of trouble. And in it goes, and that cue ball glanced to red near the side pocket there, but stayed in the table. And Larry breaking off, got a ball or a couple of balls. Now, well, at first glance, and from where the yellows are sitting, there's one troublesome yellow next to those two reds up top. Now Larry can get onto it now if he's going to commit. He can get onto it now. He can stun this one in, but he's got to watch that side pocket. That side pocket's coming into play a little bit, but that's a shot that he has to go for if he's going to get this yellow. It's tricky to be playing this one and hoping to come back and get on it, which is probably another reason why he's going for the reds. And that's not a great shot, because he could have gone through and got onto this one and dealt with that. I think he's already made a mistake. I think that's a big mistake, because you could have been much better just rolling that red in and coming down and dealing with that one. And now he's got to get back up for this one. I'll say that right now. I think that is the mistake, unless he gets onto this right now, if he's going to roll through. Now, can he roll through? That's the question. I don't think he can. Well, I think in this occasion the commentator's call might be right, because I don't like where that red is, and I don't like the fact that he played his first red and didn't commit to get on that one while he was up there. He could regret it. And balls are going in, and he still ain't up there. Which means he's going to have to play a shot to get in it. Now again, the angle that he's got here is not great. At least it is a favourable angle. Problem is that the yellow's in the way. He's gone through, he's got to the gap. I think he can get there. Oh, another couple of millimetres and he'd have been stumped. But he's done this the harder way. And now he's going to have a fairly straight in 8-ball. So Tommy's going to be breaking to get to the hill. Well, that was hard. It was harder than I thought it would have. It could have been that rack, but he got it done. And I heard something go down. And then again, there's a mess up top. Well, he's looking at the reds. And this is all an issue. And I think one problem is that red there, where if you were playing this one to try and go to the rail and bump these, that red's in the way. You know, that's always a shot, you know, potting that one and spinning to the rail and getting into them two, but this is in your way of doing that. And I don't know that he can get into them off that. I think he's I mean, you can put a bit of left English on it, but all he's doing is just playing for position. And that's the right shot. The right shot is knowing when to stop potting balls and then bide your time. This red that's down in the bottom left hand corner, you can get to it going to the rail. So you've got to play a half decent shot just to get inside to the long rail on the left to get to it, but it is potable. Well, Larry's got a legal hit, and in actual fact, that outcome's not too bad. And now, Larry's ended up getting a free shot because Tommy's not hit a rail after hitting the object ball, so a big ask here for Larry. He's now got a decision to make. He can improve the position up top where he is right now, but that then means that unless he's moving the 8-ball up there, he's got to get to the short side of the 8-ball to win the rack. And he's chosen ball in hand. Now, is that a wise move? He had an easy shot to free up his yellow. He could have left the 8-ball there to get to the, you know, to finally get in the short side of the 8-ball to win the rack. Well, I'm not sure what he's doing. He's played the red, sent it up table. I'm at a bit of a loss what Larry's thought process was there. Well, that shot that Larry just played there, explain that one to me, semi-pro, because I'm bamboozled by that shot. I am totally flummoxed with what he's just done there. I mean, he's improved nothing up the top of the table when, without ball in hand, he could have improved it straight away. Well, okay, he's got a yellow over the corner pocket up top. But I think if he'd made a better choice, he might have been in a better position to have achieved something with this rack. Now we're going to be, nipping backward and forward here and leaving that mess up there. But then again, I'm not Larry and sitting 11-10 down in a race to 13. That's the other factor that comes into it. Well, at least he's going to get this yellow out of there. Now, there is the possible scenario here that if Larry pots this and then he's in starting potting balls again. Let's have a look at the 8 ball. Now, I think that 8 ball goes. That 8 ball goes if you're cutting it from here. You're going to be hitting the 8 ball first before you hit. Well, now it'll go. And Tommy's touching the red. The 8 ball's now in play. Now, how does he protect this yellow? Well, he's done one thing. He's blocked the 8 ball into that corner pocket, but the 8 ball's going to be available to this one once the yellow goes out the way. Well, so now Larry has to be committed. He's got to go for it now. Well, pressure is on. And of course, it's the same problem he's going to have as it always is, but especially when the 8 ball's in a little bit of a sticky position. And how good is he going to be in that second last ball? Now, you either want to be rolling that yellow into a side pocket and just coming back off it, or rolling through off it to roll onto that 8 ball. Or fairly straightish, where you're stunning onto the 8 ball. But now he's taking the yellow because he's awkward in the other yellow. He's forced into taking this one. Had that been the second last ball there, he's perfect for the 8 ball, just like that. Look at where he is right now on it. So now it's about a controlled shot to get on the. Let's have a look how this looks from here. Well, he should be fine. This is fine. This is all good. And we're back all square. But Larry's going to be breaking now. Needs a ball. Any ball will do, bar the 8 ball, that is. Well, he's got the first part of it, and goodness me, commentators curse. Bloody 8 balls getting in again. Oh no. Would you believe it? That's about the 4th time it's happened. And of course, well, at least he's got a ball again. And again, there's a problem. Everything else is fine, but for the fact he's got the red and yellow stuck together up top. Oh, well. He's got to think right away here. If he's going to put that red there, I mean, if he had somehow finished here, he could have stunned that in and bumped the red. He's got to think about an opportunity like that coming up, but of course there's nothing else near this red. So he's playing the combo. He's got to play the combo and commit. And I think if he's going to do that, well, where he is now, he can play this combo. I think he would have to play it firm to try and get not only the red in the hole, but get the yellow out of the way for the 8-ball. And he's going to hang off. If that was me, I'd have went all out for it. I would have played the combo, played it firm to try and get everything out of the way and deal with the rest of the stuff after it. But Larry's waiting, and this is no good. He's left it dodgy, very dodgy. Okay, it's a thin cut and it'll go in, and he's more than likely going to catch something here, but he's doing this a hard way to me. And he's not cut it enough. And the best thing that happened there was the fact that he did miss it. And he didn't get the hit, because he's still now got a bit of breathing space. But again, to me, he should have been committed straight away there and went for the combo and done it. I wonder what Semi-Pro would have done in that situation. He left it as it was, which I suppose now is actually good, because he's still giving himself that second chance. And left Tommyy with a problem to deal with. Now Tommyy could stun that yellow in that he's looking at up table and spin to the short rail and spin into those two. Yeah, I think he can get to them. What's happened to Tommyy? Is he fallen asleep? Right, to me, where Tommyy is right now, he's got to commit himself. He's got to get that stunned in, get the spin going and spin right over and catch something here. And he's not doing it either. Now, imagine seeing shots in a totally different way from what these guys are seeing. You know, he was sitting, to me, probably as good as he was ever going to be on this yellow, to stun it in and spin and get right across. Good bit of spin to juice it up and just get a nudge or a hit and open something up there. He didn't do it. And I can't work out why. Well, Larry, of course, it's all about just improving his situation until there's such time that he can maybe do something up top. But he had that chance. No, of course you're not going to guarantee, but you know, gung-ho sometimes works out or it doesn't work out. You know, you live or die by your shot choices. But you know, again, you've got to take it into the context of the match. I mean, it's 11 racks apiece, and you don't want to go down looking like a numpty. But at the same time, you know, he who dares wins. So we are rapidly approaching 2.5 hours. I thought I was going to I thought this match would be done and dusted, and I would have plenty of time for a coffee and a biscuit, and then go to bed. But I think I'm just going to have to go straight to bed. Well, fortunately, tomorrow I've got a short shift. Well, I think Larry's probably. I mean, he could go what 1, 2. He could go 3 rails in the red ball here, which is what he's probably going to do. Just bump it and send it 3 rails up table. I don't see any problem with doing that. The first reason is he's going to get his red ball in play. It's no good where it's sitting there. And if he just goes 3 rails with it and leave the rest up to Tommyy, I think that's simple enough to do. But he's gone the other route to create more problems for Tommyy. I mean, it's not a bad choice. No. I mean, how's my shot choice terrible? I'm putting forward ideas. I mean, like the shot that Larry's just played there. He's played to block the pocket, but Tommy's now just taking care of that. Why didn't he go 3 rails and send it up table into the wide open space? Now, in that shot choice I called there, I'm right, because it's now backfired on Larry that now Tommy's got control of the pocket. You see what I mean? You've got to be careful when you write these sentences out, semi-pro, because you'll find out that the commentator on most occasions is right in the end, and I was there. So now Larry's had to play a shot to eventually get his red ball to where it should have been 3 minutes ago when I said he should have played the 3-railer. You see how I'm right there? But I'll tell you something, this rack could be another 20 minutes before this bloody thing's over. The way they're pissing about here. Now, that was a good shot until he get the second bump there, because what Larry was trying to do is get that red in a position where if he gets a sniff of it, he can pot it and maybe bump the red and yellow. I mean, he had the right idea, I think, there. Now, Tommy's got to be wise to that situation here, because this is what Larry's up. He's up to his tricks here, Larry. And now that is going to be good for the billiard. Now, Larry's now played a shot that's given him a chance to get this rack won, but when he does commit, he's got to get that yellow out of there. That's a must. There's no point in playing the shot if he can't get the yellow out of there. Oh, is this just criticise the commentator night, semi-pro? Is that what it is? Is that the plan tonight? Just criticise the commentator. I'm saying it as I see it, because that's what it's all about. Whether it's the right shot or the wrong shot is debatable. But what Larry did earlier on there was the right shot, because he's now got the shot that's going to give him the chance. Now this is going to bump onto the 8 ball, dearie me, well, there's the worst possible outcome ever. How about that for a shot? I think he ended up getting the double kiss here, didn't he? He got the double kiss. and it pushed it straight into the pocket. Well, it was a good idea, wasn't it? You know, moving that red ball over to the other one was good. I don't think he planned in that outcome, though. That was horrible. And Tommyy is going to be, well, he should be on the hill here. I mean, he just has to play a little bump on those two yellows just to split them apart and pick one of them. And he'll have the last yellow near the corner pocket to get to the 8 ball. So I can't see him failing in this. Yeah, he's just going to play the little sort of combo again. In a rover will do. Well, now it's just finished a wee bit awkward. I mean, he's now going to have to take the other one first and watch the side pocket. He doesn't do anything daft. But this is actually, in fact, this is a lot thinner, so he should be well away from the side pocket, but he's checking it up because it wants to sort of leak away a wee bit here. Oh, well, it's a testy one. How's the nerves, Tommyy? Well, the nerves are good. In it goes. And Tommy's going to be breaking for the match. Here we go. We'll have a quick look at the bracket. Oh, the cue ball's gone. Well, Larry's now, oh, look at the way the table's set. All the reds are on one side of the table and all the yellows are sort of in an angle on the left side of the table. But what is certain is that they've all got pockets one way or another. If he's going to take the reds, he's got to dink that one in to get to this one first. I don't know that he wants to leave that as a combo. That's if he's taking the reds. The other worry would be that red there. Because it doesn't go into the side. It doesn't go into that corner. And if you're playing this red, that's going to be awkward to get to that red. So he's got to think about this before he fully commits. The problem with the yellows is, first of all, getting to this one to get to that one. Or get to it from this side, because it goes. Maybe the yellows are more favourable in this situation. I think, in all accounts, I think I'd probably sway myself to the yellows. Although I don't want to leave that one sitting there too long. And probably no harm in getting rid of it straight away. I mean, this here should all take care of itself. I mean, all you're doing, play the little combo, play that one into the corner, roll that up the table. And you could roll that up the table and roll through for the 8 ball into the side if it came to it. But it's all very well said and done. You've got to do it. And that's a totally different thing when you're at the table. Watch the bump. So, the way it's looking now is it's going to be the little combo, as I said. I mean, you roll that yellow in. I mean, he could play the other combo rather than the yellow that's near the yellow with the corner pocket. He could play the other one down the rail from where he is, but he looks as if he's digging in. Let me have a look whether he's going to do that or do the other one. He could play that one down the rail. But he'd need to be nice and gentle, and then he may well be left with another combo. But the plan might be what I said earlier, you know, play that in, roll this in dead weight and come through for the 8 into the side. So this is as dead weight as you can just to stay on this line. What's he doing? See, this is meaning that he's going to have to just spin out into the gap. He's going to go up table with the yellow. Maybe he's worried about the control of the cue ball running through for the 8 ball into the side. When you know, he's increasing his odds if he does play this into the corner and run in through here. He's going to leave the long 8 ball. Now, how's the touch? He's going to. He's actually pretty straight. Well, now it's gone into that no man's land area. I mean, it is a pot. I think the cue ball's fine as far as scratching goes. I think he's going to go to the jaw. Pressure pot though. But this to go all the way. Oh, he's digging in. And he's digging in to make sure he avoided the scratch. That was a good run under pressure there for Larry. So, inevitably, we've gone the distance. 12 apiece. Larry breaking for the match. Oh, yellow. Oh, the 2 yellows that go into that side pocket, and none of them went. Well, it's a 3 ball combo into the side pocket, just in case Tommyy hasn't seen it. I mean, that's absolutely stone dead. You can never miss it. Now, what do you go for here to win the match? Well, there's the problem. Again, I don't think we've had one rack where there's not been a problem. I'm trying to remember it, and I can't say I see one. Well, Albinario called it 13-11 for Tommyy, so it was a close call that way. He's going to be 1 rack out. Oh, it's been a grind. It definitely has been a grind for them. I mean, tough tables most of the time. A fair bit of safety going on backward and forward and positional movement, positional play, you know, just nudging balls into better position. All of that going on just takes time. So that's how you end up at 2 hours and 40 minutes. Well, Tommy's decided yellows are good enough for him. And, well, when you think about it, if he just plays the little dinks here, the 8 ball, let's have a look at it. I mean, that 8 ball, you've just got to get nice onto it. I mean, you can roll it down the rail. That yellow is, I mean, it goes past the red if it has to. And this is where it's painful, you know. Alternate break. Larry's sitting there, absolutely nothing you can do. He's probably thinking he's lost it. He's more than likely going to lose it. And this is a tightish squeeze, and especially at this angle. I mean, this is not a gimme. Well, who is Blue Cheese? Come on, tell me who you are. And there you go. You know, you're playing it offline, and Larry's been given a new lease of life. Even though the red and yellow's tied up, Larry's in an extremely strong position now. Tommy's going to be in a world of hurt, as they say, in a minute or two. Now, had he been dead straight on that last ball there, he'd have been fine. He'd have been able to squeeze it in comfortably, probably. But when you're off angle, you know, the other object ball that interferes doubles in size, and suddenly you push your object ball onto it, and that's it. Exactly what happened to Tommyy there. Well, that wasn't a great shot from Larry, because he should have. Tommyy should not have a sniff at this yellow ball. And Tommy's going to do this all night. Larry's got to get him. He's got to get him locked up. And he should have had him locked up right there on that 8 ball. And I don't think it's a wise move for Larry to be potting balls. All he should be doing is nudging and manoeuvring them somewhere, but looking to duck and put Tommyy in trouble. In fact, if anything, he'd be better maybe nudging a couple of these balls together and giving himself a target to get behind. And again, he's trying to duck up top as well, I think, there. Same again for Tommyy, just a little double kiss onto the yellow. And Larry's balls are all sitting too good at the moment. That's his problem. He wants to get them sort of, you know, a couple of them together where he's got a target to try and get in behind. It sounds daft to say it, but strategy-wise, it could work big in his favour if he ends up getting a free shot. And that is a much better shot. Because Tommy's now going to have to play the hit. He's going to have to play it dead weight though, and he's fouled. And so Larry's choice there has given him his reward. And Tommyy didn't get it done right. So now Larry's 100% committed. So the red's in play and they're all there. The chances are that this red that's near the yellow is going to be the last ball he's going to play, and he's going to roll that 8 ball up into that top right hand corner pocket once it's cleared. Well, I'm glad Stubb came in at this time, aren't you? Right at the nitty gritty of the match to start bullshitting in the chat. I'm sure the two of these guys are really enjoying that. So, anywhere half decent on this red. Well, it couldn't be worse. He's stuck to the rail. Oh dear. And the problem with being stuck to the rail is he'd have to jack up big time to make sure that he's just going to avoid running into his last red. So this is why he's had to go to plan B here. And now it's just about controlling the spin. He's cutting into the side. He's going to go. Now, it wouldn't do any harm if he bumped to yellow here. I mean, if he bumps the yellow, oh, I think he's played that a bit too hard. I'd have played it a bit gentler, but he's still okay. So this, for the match. Oh, it's been a battle this, so it has. And Larry's taking his time. And in it goes. Well, for the most part, Larry was chasing Tommy's tail. And he's ground it out. It was hard work. But very well done to Larry for hanging in there. And unlucky to Tommyy. In the end, that could go anyway. But what did make the difference was that at one point, you know, I was waiting on Larry putting Tommyy in trouble, and he had 2 goes at it and failed, but he finally got the shot. And Tommyy made the error, and that's what gave Larry the chance to run out for the match. So it's a 13-12 win for Larry. That took 2 hours and 48 minutes, give or take a minute. Right, now we need to do a quick refresh. And we'll just have a look at the bracket up and down again, just to remind us. We've got Houdini and John Boo to arrange their match. The winner will play Albinario, who got a bye to round 2. We've got Coldest Pillow through to round 2 after that. Good win against Spud Boy. We've got Coldest Pillow's next opponent is MC Clarkey. And if Coldest Pillow's still there, you're going to have to up your game against this guy. And then, of course, Larry, having survived that battle, now walks into more trouble. He's up against Semi-Pro in round 2. Semi-Pro won't be taking him lightly. And then further down, we've got Cobra, who got a bye to round 2, and he's waiting on the winner of LS3 and Handful of Potatoes. I thought it was Handful of Pot. I forgot it was abbreviated because the name won't fit in. That goes ahead on Saturday at 9 PM. I won't be there for it because that's too late. Maybe Slim could catch that one for the guys. And then Fast Eddie. Now this is the one that's got me puzzled. Fast Eddie had a bye to round 2. Zangetsu battles to a 13-12 win against Linus. And then somehow or other there's been a forfeit and Fast Eddie's gone through. I still need that explaining to me. It seems a bit of a puzzle. Stubb through to round 2 with the bye, waiting on the winner of Mark Sharp and Woody. That should be quite a good match between those two. We've got One Pocket Slim and Chase won a round in round 1. They have to arrange a match. Slim will be odds-on favourite for that. Brainful Out lies in wait. He had a bye. And then further down we have Bankster and Little Wolf. They've arranged a match for it's about a week's time, I think, and Christian is lying in wait for the winner of that one. So that is it, guys. Tournament is underway. Good luck to Larry in his match, and good luck to Semi-Pro when that comes around, and good luck to all the rest of the guys still in the tournament. As I say, if anybody finds One Pocket Slim couldn't chat in YouTube either, that's weird. Oh, right. So Zangetsu just didn't show. Well, it's just sad that he's battled in that first round match and then doesn't show up for the second one. But anyway, that is it. I'm heading out, guys. Thanks for your company, and hopefully we'll have a few more matches. Like I say, that one that's at 9 o'clock with LS3 at the weekend, I'll maybe watch the start of it, but I won't be streaming it. So I'm off to bed, and I will bid you good night. Take care, and we'll see you all again soon.